Right guys, today's video we are going to be welding in a front floor pan. We're going to cut it to size and weld it in using fluxcore. And we're going to see if it's going to work. Now I'm waiting for everyone to jump on, oh you can't use fluxcore. We're going to see if it works. If not, we'll zip it back and we'll put it in the proper way. So let's go. Right, so we have our hole here on the floor, as you can see, and we have, move this back a bit, the panel. Now this panel is of an earlier or pre-injection mini. The difference in them is here, but we're going to make it fit. It doesn't have to look pretty, it just has to be solid. People keep forgetting that if it's a car you're building for yourself, people are not going to be looking underneath it. As long as it's structurally sound under there, that's all that matters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change tripods and I'm going to bring these into the car and just let you see a bit of dressing back before we go for the cutting of the repair panel. Now I will say again that you see my hand, just there is your injection pipe. So watch where you're cutting, because you don't want to cut that. And here we go. Right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and figure out where's the best place to put you and put you on a time lapse. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to dress back this edge here and I'm going to cut this back a little bit further. Again, as I said, mind your injection pipes. They get quite close here, so just bear that in mind when you have the angle grinder out. Hopefully I can get a decent spot to put you, and put you, as I said, put you on time lapse, because it's going to take a while and I want to listen to some music, because when the music is on in the workshop I start singing and nobody wants to be here with that. So there's another bit of here to just adjust back. So up in the next bit. Right, so what we're going to do here is we're just going to trim up the panel. Now, the other thing I noticed as well is this flute is slightly wider to accommodate for the wire and for the airbag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut to this side of the panel and I'll just trim it straight up, and that way we can get it into a more manageable state, that we can get it up and get it marked on where to cut and then get it in. So I'll stick these back on time lapse there again. Now, or anyone says that that's not straight, I know it's not straight. This is just to get, as I said, the bulk of the panel off. It's still too long, so it has to be cut around here, but I'll do a quick cut and then we'll have a look. Now, it's amazing when you actually have a panel and you're starting to get it fitted up to the car. It's amazing the difference it makes, even just setting it up to line it up. So you can see we still have another good bit to trim off it, but kind of gives us an idea on the length and stuff. So we'll grab a magic marker and we'll trace out and then obviously cut. obviously the first cut that you do then, you do it that you make it bigger, and then you just trim it into place. So you get some rough. There's that fold. Let's too far back. There we go. So. Right, so you have a rough idea here on the size that it's going to be, but always cut this side and give yourself a good few mil around it for your first cut, because I guarantee you if you cut along that line, that's going to be too small. You've also to account for the thickness of the marker as well, because when you're up against the other panel rubbing, you're rubbing that edge there, so you're giving yourself that much that it's going to be out. So I'll change the disc and we'll get you back on the time lapses. Now, just before we start cutting, always save these, okay? There's a patch panel there. Always hold on to them. See this? If you look at the shape along there, you might have the right profile for something else, including like around there. So get yourself a bin and fill it with the offcuts of your panels. Alright guys, as you can see, I just have a bottle jack up underneath it here. The panel is nearly ready to go in. There's a little bit more trim in here, but what I want to do is I want to put a small bit of a fold up and across here and get it welded on that way. It's just with the angle I have here, the easiest thing to do is lap it and put it in, whereas here I can butt weld it across, but we're really getting close now. So what I'll do is, instead of time lapsing, I'll just bring these back in when I have the panel shaped, so you have an idea of what to do. I'll be going around it again with the trusty marker and giving it a second mark and just cutting ever so closer to it. That way we get the whole lot done. I just said I'd bring these back in here again quickly. The panel is trimmed down, but I have a tire lever just across here to act as an edge and two vice grips, and I'm just after putting an edge on it, so it'll match up with the flute in the car. So a little bit more hammering and I'll bring this back in and we'll see how it goes. Right, what we're going to be doing here is I'm going to lift this up into place and I'm going to weld along the edge that I have here, and then we're going to relief cut the rest of it in. So fingers crossed this works. I've never filmed myself welding before, so we'll see. My big head will probably be just in the way most of the way through it. Give it a go. Now, apologies for the rain and stuff, but I think you can see, yes, it does weld. Yes, there's an awful lot more splatter over it, which is a pain, but it does weld. Not very well, but we'll continue, because I said in the video about using fluxcore, so we'll stick with it, even though I'm not happy with it, but it will weld. Take your time, have patience. Right guys, so the question we all asked was, can you use fluxcore to weld in a panel? Now, the answer is yes. It looks absolutely horrendous though. As you can see, all the balls in the middle here splatter and stuff like that. But the panel is in. But I'll dress it back, get some seam sealer on it, get some paint, and we'll call that done. So that's a major tick off the list. Floor repair, done. Now, thanks everyone for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share it, and get stuff ticked off lists. Now, I am delighted with that. I'll catch you in the next one, guys.